Hello all, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3. I'm a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And in this particular video, I really wanted to talk to you about how do you actually start up an online business without any money. This is part of my Startup and Small Business Saturdays strategy series, so you can check those out. So how do you actually do that? What do you do to start up a business online? What is the sort of thing that you actually do? How do you actually build money along the way? What's the secret, right? To be honest, I'm not going to tell you that there is any sort of secrets or anything like that. You could look at how many videos I actually put out. It's actually really hard to do anything like this, to create something new that nobody else has seen, particularly that's online, because there's no sort of location. Nobody knows that you actually exist until they actually look for you and try to actually find you, right? So what the key thing that you need to do when you do something online is that you actually need to what you need to do is build trust and build an audience so that people know, like, and trust you, right? So that's the key things that you need to do. First of all, is make sure that you're building an audience. However that is, it's really difficult to build an audience. How do you actually build an audience? What you need to do is just be very, very consistent over the long time, right? So you want to be very persistent and consistent and keep putting things out for a very, very long time. That's how you actually build an online business in sort of make sure that other people sort of understand what you're doing as you just keep putting out material. Why do you want to keep putting out material? Why is that the case? Well, there's a lot of different reasons for that. So if you're thinking about people knowing, liking, and trusting you, they need to know that you're legitimate, and they need to know that you're trying to be very, very helpful for them, however that is, right? So in terms of getting to know you, how do you get people to know you? Well, they have to sort of search for you. And when they search for you, or they try to find you at any particular location, they need to be able to do that. And the way that you actually get people to actually search for you and to find you is you need to put out tremendous amounts of content that allows the search engines to find you, because you're building authority in the search engines sort of view, right? So if you're Google, they're trying to find you and find that particular person, and you need to build authority before Google starts sending you more and more traffic over time. So you're building authority there. And then the other thing that really happens when you start building an audience is that you really truly need to focus on learning and developing along the way, right? So when you first start out doing something, you're going to be really, really terrible. It's not going to work all that well. This is called organizational learning. And this is something that we know about in the literature, and in terms of understanding exactly how businesses actually grow, is that they grow through learning and developing and getting better over time. The only way that you can do that is just putting in tremendous amounts of repetition. So what you're building is building legitimacy or authority within the search engines as well as within other people, but then you're learning along the way and you're getting kind of better at the stuff that you do, right? So the more that you do something, this is called the learning curve. Whoops, sorry. I just bumped the microphone. So this is called the learning curve. The more that you do something, the better that you get, because you learn different tricks and tips and stuff like that along the way. And it does work, right? It takes a long time. Some people are really quick at this kind of stuff, but most people are not going to be all that quick. And it's going to take you a long, crazy amounts of time to be able to do that, right? So that's how you actually get people to know you, is to keep putting out more and more material. The other thing is that you need to get people to like you. So what is that? How do you get people to actually like you? Well, they have to know that you're looking out for their best interest, however that is, right? So with me creating Reciprocity, I'm trying to create this sort of environment, such as it's kind of fun, that you can actually get like a sharing economy proofreading type platform where you can get on there and you can sort of share social reciprocity with your own proofreading, and then you can take credits out eventually once you get good enough. And you can see with the videos, all these different videos I put out, and there's lots of different videos I put out. I'm really in it for the long haul. I'm trying to make sure that I'm trying to be as helpful and open as possible with what I'm doing. and, making sure that people are not going to get snuck up on anything, right? So part of this is kind of like a research project for myself to understand what's going on behind the scenes, and for other people, other researchers, to understand what's going on behind the scenes with the sharing economy, because we don't have anything like this currently within within sort of research access, right? So that's part of it. That's definitely a part of it. But I also wanted to create something such that it would be very helpful for other people and writers and stuff like that, to help them get better, and as well as get feedback on the stuff that they're doing, right? Because there's so much anxiety. I personally felt so much anxiety to get feedback on my work. So that's why I wanted to create this thing, is to reduce that anxiety as much as possible by having people that are willing and able to actually go through some of this work, right? So that was a key thing, is to know, to get people to understand that what you're doing is, you're not trying to sort of put one off and on anybody. It's not sneaky. You could see that this is I'm totally genuine, and I'm sitting in my house right now. You could see that everything is really sort of raw and genuine. I'm not trying to sort of sneak anything like that. So you got to get people to know, like, and then trust you as well, right? So the trust comes with them understanding that you're putting things out and you're consistent, as well as, that they're gonna not, like, when they go to pay for something, that they're not going to sort of lose the stuff that they're paying for, right? So they're not going to get ripped off or anything like that. And that's exactly what I would do when I was in this situation, or when I see other people sort of doing this kind of thing, or doing an online thing. You have to sort of put out and create an audience. It's not about doing these sort of quick wins and stuff like that. That doesn't happen. It might happen, but those are really good sort of conversational stories, and they happen once every 100,000 times. It doesn't necessarily happen that somebody sort of strikes it rich like that. It's usually a long, long time, a lot of research, a lot of sort of just grinding things out. That's kind of the norm with this, right? With anything, any kind of project in life, it takes a long time. It's a lot of work. It's stinking lot of work. That's why most people don't do it. That's why it's really, really hard. It just takes a lot of stinking work, right? So how do you actually start a small business without any money? Well, what you have to do is be very, very consistent. You have to really, truly serve others. You have to have that mindset, trying to serve others as much as you possibly can, however that is, and then just keep doing that over a very, very long time. The other thing that's incredibly important that I find, so again, being a professor of sort of this environment, is a lot of people don't sort of start. They don't get into it. I often sort of ask the students whether they're going to start to do something, and they don't. The other thing is that the ones that actually start and are more inclined to start, is that they peter out within a month or two, because it's not fun. It's work, right? So the vast majority of people are not going to grind it out, and they're not even going to start. They're not going to grind it out. So actually, if you're starting a small business online, and you realize it's going to take a lot of work, it's going to be, tons and tons of time, you have to sort of figure out that what it takes to start a small business online with any sort of money, it's actually incredibly easy, to be honest, right? You're going to be the only person out of 1,000 people that are going to stick this out. And if you could be that person that could stick it out and continue on, and sort of push to start something and then continue on, even though that people are saying, oh, why are you doing this? This is kind of dumb. All the people around you sort of, it's not necessarily sort of grinding with what's going on. You have to stick it out for a very long time until it actually starts taking off. And that's really what happens. I mean, that truly is what happens, because what happens, it's called an exponential growth curve. If you've ever heard of that, what it is with businesses is that it grows incredibly slow for a very long time, but you're actually growing at a pretty good clip. You don't know that, and then all of a sudden you go up this exponential curve. And that's how these things kind of work. And then once you start growing up the exponential curve, you can start sort of making more money and investing in the business, and then continue to grow the business that way. And that's really, truly how it works. So if you're looking to start a small business without any money, what you have to do, or to create something online, is just be very consistent, serve others, and just do that over a long, long time. So that's it. Take care. Have a wonderful day.